Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Adrian Hunter from over here at Pipe Dream Hookah, and today I have a tobacco review for you guys. Now, a couple days ago, you'll notice that I uploaded a video that was a packing tutorial, and it was on the hookah tobacco brand Mazaya. Now, quick note about Mazaya before we start, because today's review is going to be on Mazaya's Watermelon Mint. God, I love the packaging on this stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, that packing video was on Mazaya as a brand, and it was packing both Egyptian and funnel style bowls. So with that said, there won't be a packing tutorial in this video, but I will leave a link down in the description on a packing tutorial on how I pack this funnel bowl. I actually packed this exact bowl in the tutorial, so go ahead and check that out. I believe I did the funnel packing as the second one. Hopefully I remember to leave a timestamp in there if you don't want to sit through the Egyptian packing method. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. I'm actually going to be reviewing a Mazaya flavor, and that's something I did way back when I started my channel like 8 months ago. I reviewed Mazaya's Lemon Mint, and I stayed away from it for the most part because they really haven't made themselves widely available in the States. However, recently, all of the major vendors have started carrying Mazaya. And yes, that does include 5-Star Hookah. I'll have some information as to how you can pick that stuff up and maybe get a sell on it at the end of the video. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut to the chase, starting, of course, with the scent of the tobacco. Well, it's going to be very, very sweet and fruity, which is something you can probably expect from a watermelon flavor. And like most watermelon flavors I've had, this isn't coming across as any kind of a natural watermelon, probably because watermelons don't have a ton of flavor or scent to them, you know, in their natural habitat of being a fruit. But yeah, it's coming across as a watermelon Jolly Rancher for any of you guys who have maybe had one of those. And when I smell it, I almost get a throat tickle because of whatever type of syrup they're using, whatever their molasses and glycerin mixture is. Now, spoiler alert, that doesn't mean it's going to smoke harsh or anything. I just sometimes get a throat tickle when I'm smelling some of these sweeter flavors. But yeah, all in all, I'd say it's pretty straightforward. It's a nice, sweet, artificial watermelon scent. And the mint's definitely in there, although it's way at the back end of the flavor. Mazaya's X with mint flavors have tended to be more on the X flavor, whether it's lemon, watermelon, or whatever they're using with mint. And like Alfakar tends to do, they use the mint as just kind of this background flavor to cool the smoke down a little bit for you. Now next up, you guys know the drill, we're gonna check out some clouds, but let's take a look at the setup before we make the clouds come out of the hookah. We've got the V2 Dark Hose by Thunder Hookah, the Alchemist Initiate broken down to the micro setting, so it's real nice and tiny, so everything can be in frame for you guys. Yeah, it looks like it's in frame. On top, I've got the Alpaca Rook Bowl. It's kind of the large size. I think large bowls work really well for Mazaya. 1 layer of HD foil on top, shiny side down, 3 titanium flats on the top, and let's see what the clouds look like. So yeah, if you know anything about Mazaya, it's pretty obvious they're going to make pretty good sized clouds. The clouds on these are actually going to be, in my opinion, a lot better than what you pull out of something like Alfakar because of how heat resistant the tobacco tends to be. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. But yeah, the tobacco makes clouds, which is to be expected, so good. But now it's time to move on to the most important thing when we're critically analyzing any shisha tobacco, and that's going to be the flavor profile. As usual, we're going to do it on the inhale and the exhale because I find that there is a slight difference on the flavor profile between the inhale and exhale. So as usual, we'll start with the inhale. Okay, so on the inhale, I was actually pretty surprised to find out that the mint's a lot stronger in the flavor than it is in the scent. So in this case, I guess the scent of the tobacco doesn't do the greatest job at representing the flavor profile, but that's fine because mints tend to get hidden in the scent of a tobacco when you're doing a mix anyway, provided you're not using an insane amount of mint or a super mint like FML or twice the ice or something like that. But yeah, what I'm really getting is this really nice cold artificial watermelon flavor. So think like you have a watermelon Jolly Rancher, but also it's really cold because you put it in the freezer. That's kind of what I'm getting. The mint in here doesn't really have like a mint flavor to it. The flavor is mostly just going to be that artificial watermelon, but it's very nice and cooling to the throat, and you can really get the cooling on the exhale as well. But let's talk about that after we analyze the exhale. Alright, so on the exhale, I find that most tobaccos, that mint kind of a flavor goes down a little bit. It's a little bit less cooling. But so far on this, the mint's prominent enough that you don't really notice any dip in the exhale as opposed to the flavor profile in the inhale. The mint stays mostly the same. It might lose a little bit of potency, but I don't really notice it, so I'm just going to say it's the same. And as far as that watermelon flavor, it's going to die down quite a bit. You're just going to have this really nice cool exhale. The watermelon, like I said, is pretty powerful on the inhale, but you know, once it transitions over to the exhale, you're going to it's almost like you're just smoking a mint flavor for the most part. Now, before we go ahead and rate this tobacco like we tend to do on the 7 scale over on this channel, let's go over a few other things about this tobacco that I think are probably pretty important, starting with how it takes heat. Mazaya is actually pretty resilient to heat, some flavors more than others. I find that watermelon flavors tend to burn pretty hot, which might be why Mazaya opted to use a lot more mint in this particular mix than they did with something like the lemon mint. But yeah, I've got 3 flats directly on the coal. It's packed like I showed you in the packing video, which is going to be kind of a normal pack up to the rim, and it's taking the heat just fine. I'm not getting any type of burning or scorching or anything like that. The flavor profile is perfect in my opinion as far as how it translated from the scent to the taste of the tobacco. Now, moving right along, let's talk about longevity. Mazaya doesn't really have the best reputation for being a really good long-lasting tobacco. I'd say at about the hour-and-a-half mark, you're going to start to see that the flavors dip down quite a bit, and you're not really going to get a whole lot of satisfaction as far as the flavor profile goes towards the end of your session. So I'd recommend keeping this to maybe 2 rounds of flats would probably be good. But if you're using cubes, I'd limit it to 1 round because it will still smoke. It'll provide good cloud size and everything like that. But in terms of flavor, it's going to dip down, and this isn't a tobacco like Tangiers where once the flavor starts to whittle down, you can keep smoking it because of those awesome tobacco notes and that really nice throat hit. It doesn't really burn, but if you smoke Tangiers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't think this holds its value in terms of longevity for the most part. That's what I've noticed from Mazaya flavor to Mazaya flavor. And then really quickly, I don't normally mention this at the end of the video, but I do want to talk about the cut. Mazaya's cut is just outstanding. I'm not going to open it. Hopefully I remember to put some B-roll right there. We're going to find out if I remembered 2 seconds ago. But the cut is actually really nice, and it's a medium cut. It's fairly consistent, and the way they use the molasses and the glycerin on the tobacco, it doesn't make it clumpy and sticky like alfalfa. It's very nice and free. It's easy to fluff it up, so packing is really easy. It's going to get points for that for sure. But moving on, let's go ahead and wrap this video up by talking about how I rate this on the 7 scale. I'm going to go ahead and give Mazaya's Watermelon Mint a solid 6 out of 7. The only reason it's not going to reach that 7 out of 7 point scale is because A, it's really hard for any tobacco to be a 7 out of 7. It's just really hard to give anything a perfect score like that because it's going to vary from user to user, and I can't sit here and tell you this is a great tobacco if you don't like watermelon mint flavors or you're looking for something stronger. It may not be a 7 out of 7 for you. But like I said, the flavor profile is outstanding in both the inhale and the exhale. It smells super good. It's easy to pack. It takes plenty of heat, and it'll go for a decent amount of time. It's really not going to reach that 7 point because it doesn't really last as long as I would like it to, but that's fine. That's not something I'm really looking for in my blonde tobaccos anyway. Oh, before I go, let's talk about maybe where you could pick some of this stuff up. You guys know my sponsors. You know how I work with. I would recommend going over to 5 Star Hookah to pick this stuff up. They have awesome customer service, pretty decent shipping time, but beyond all that, they have an insanely huge catalog of different hookah products for you to choose from. And why am I talking about their catalog instead of just this flavor? Well, it's because if you use this promo code PIPE15, PIPED15, PIPE15, that'll get you 15% off your entire 5 Star Hookah order, excluding what's already on sale, because I can't be giving you stuff for free. And you can just use that upon checkout, and there you go. You spent $100, you only spent $85. Alright, you guys, that's just gonna about wrap it up for my review of Mazaya's Watermelon Mint. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, happy smoking.